So for today's video, I'm not really sure what I'm calling it yet, but it's a breakdown of your shadow and light aspects, both together. What makes you you, basically. And so take a minute to get in touch with your intuition and your higher self. Pick the pile that you're most drawn to. And remember to take what resonates in this reading and leave what doesn't, because it's not necessarily going to fit every single person. And to remember that sometimes it's really hard to look in the mirror and to see these things about ourselves when we're facing our shadow, but to know that facing it, accepting it, and integrating it into your life in the right way will bring you a lot more peace. It'll bring you a lot more acceptance of yourself and acceptance of others, and a lot more unconditional love into your life, which I know is what everybody is really looking for, but we got to find that in ourselves before we can find it outside of ourselves. So anyway, we have pile 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to get started with pile 1. So for pile 1, and what's really funny is when I first pulled them out, I pulled out both of those, and those were the two I pulled out for your thing, and then I picked this one out of the two and was trying to get another one because I was like, well, that's kind of a, I don't know. It didn't really seem very awesome as far as your charm went, but I ended up getting that one again. So sip back and relax. You must have self-respect, only then can you respect somebody. So basically this is about being able to respect yourself, being able to set healthy boundaries, being able to take care of yourself, and being able to expect other people to respect you will allow you to be able to respect the people in your sphere more as well. A lot of times people will do whatever they can get away with. Really, it's sad but true. You know, if you allow people to walk over you, they will walk over you a lot of times. And a lot of them will do it without even knowing that they're doing it because they didn't realize that that was a boundary for you. So there might be a lot of working on boundary related issues in this pile. We have the crocodile. Sorry, it's taken me a minute to look this one up. Some of them take forever. Anyway, resting, submerging, collecting energy, and cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and to turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, actions, or discussion. This crocodile's mantra is wait. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing, and building energy. Fill up the vital reserves so that your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. Wise, patient, and a silent powerhouse when in balance. When out of balance, you may feel stuck or you might lash out at others. To bring into balance, rest and Makarasana pose. I think that's a yoga pose. So anyway, I think that maybe you might be somebody who really enjoys spending time alone. You might be somebody who likes to think out things and think them through before you come to a decision on things. And maybe people are trying to rush you to make decisions at times in your life. And you might make them just because people are wanting an answer now. Don't do that. Be patient and listen to your inner wisdom. So we have these cards for your positive aspects. Queen of Swords is a good positive aspect to have. Okay, so you're somebody who is very determined, very bold, very passionate, very fiery. You're somebody who's going to stand up for what you believe in no matter what. You're somebody who's going to voice your truth, somebody who is very keen, intellectual, somebody who really perceives things in a very different way than a lot of people do. You're somebody who's been through a lot in your life, somebody who's overcome challenge after challenge after challenge using your insight, your awareness, your perception. You're somebody who is able to turn any rough time into a time of happiness and prosperity. Somebody who is really very high vibrational, very happy, very peaceful, very at harmony with yourself. Somebody who apparently sets boundaries fairly well, because the Queen of Swords is somebody who sets boundaries, and she doesn't deal with bullshit. She doesn't put up with bullshit. She doesn't put up with anything that isn't good enough. She's somebody that is going to speak her truth, whether people like it or not. She can be blunt and harsh sometimes. But at the same time, if anybody's looking for an honest answer, you're the person they're going to come to. She's also somebody who's very decisive. Somebody who you're very, and this is whether you're a man or a woman, it's all of us have masculine and feminine energies within us. And it's just a feminine energy of this truth and this charisma and this somebody who can communicate very effectively and efficiently. Somebody who is very strong and stable and has a very strong, stable foundation so that you can communicate from a place of joy and happiness as well. Even though you've been through all of these things, you're somebody who can communicate from a place of joy and happiness. Somebody who defends your honor and stays true to yourself. For the negative qualities, so you're somebody who might get very stuck, not really knowing what to do in situations at times. You might have a hard time seeing things from everyone's perspective. You might have a hard time balancing many multiple things in your life. You might have a hard time going with the flow and just releasing control. You may also have some issues with feeling unworthy or like you don't belong. You may run away from conflicts at times. You may put your 2 cents in and then take off. You may have a habit of fighting to win no matter the cost. You may have a little bit of a materialistic viewpoint on things as well at times. But I think sometimes having that high self-confidence can also cause, or the low self-worth, but the high self-confidence, the fake it till you make it kind of thing, sometimes it can cause you to be in your ego a little bit, and defending yourself to the death because you're so worried what other people may think of you. I think you're somebody who may take on a little bit too much at times. And you may be somebody who gets stuck on people who cheat you or lie to you as well. There may be a need here to find your own self-worth, to be able to stand strong, stable, and firm on your own, knowing that you have everything that you need deep within yourself to be able to move forward, and that the universe will provide the rest. And so we have reliable, stable, strong, you were always there when needed, and remain grounded in hard times. You always work hard and strive to do your best no matter what. Persistent and determined, you have an iron will. So once again, yeah, you're somebody who's been through an awful lot, somebody who has learned a lot along the way. You take these lessons and you are very determined to make it to the end. And really there isn't an end. But there might be a need here to enjoy the journey as you're on the journey instead of focusing so much on the details. But you're somebody who really is able to stay strong no matter what. Somebody who always works hard and does your best in any situation. You put your best foot forward and you try to make sure that everything remains balanced. But sometimes you can lose that balance because you might be a little bit unsure of yourself, or feeling like you don't belong somewhere, or feeling like you're not good enough. May even be, you might feel like you're not good enough to defend yourself in a fight, maybe, as well. But this over here tells me that you are plenty good enough to be able to hold your own in a fight, to be able to express yourself. Understand your limits and express them truthfully. Yeah, exactly. Don't take on so much that you can't get anything done because you're taking on all these different projects at once because you feel like you have to, or you feel like nobody else will, or you feel like you're not good enough to just be yourself and do the things that you can do. You got to do so much more, otherwise, it's not good enough. Don't feel that way. Take a walk in the moonlight to release the darkness and get in touch with your intuition and feminine power. Sometimes a quiet walk at night really helps us to clear our mind and clear our thoughts. You may have a lot of mental conflicts going on in your thoughts. Maybe you're trying really hard to see things from many different perspectives, to have this awakening, to really understand what other people were thinking or going through during some kind of situation. And, it might be making you feel less than yourself. But taking that time to cleanse and clear your mind will allow you to think clearly and to really make the best decisions possible. Move to the beat, get up and get active. And really just getting up, getting out, and moving around every day and doing the things that make you feel good. Dancing, playing, maybe even roughhousing, being able to get in touch with that inner child a little bit will help you to be able to release the control a little bit and be able to see things from a different light. So that's what I have for this pile. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped you in some way. I'd love to hear your feedback if you have something to say, or if you'd like to suggest a video topic for later. I'd love to hear that too. Have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. And I'm on to pile 2. So for pile 2, I have a feeling that you're somebody who stays very grounded and stable in any kind of changing conditions. You may be somebody who has went through a lot of conflict or a lot of changes or a lot of growth, faced a lot of experiences to help you teach you in your life to find that balance and that stability and that strength within. And I think you're somebody who really has been able to ground yourself because of the experiences you've had in your life. And we have the Moth. So for Moth, impulsive, hasty, wishful. The Moth is sure that the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointments, or burnout. It is helpful to remind Moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing that it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. So you might be somebody who jumps into situations without thinking. You may be somebody who is always optimistic, though, and really thinks that good is going to come. Somebody who, at times, though, doesn't see the good around them. So they may go looking for it outside when it's right in front of them. Because, just because there's hard things or obstacles or issues, those are all things that are leading you in the right direction. It's not things to tell you, hey, this isn't right for you, go find something new, because nothing is simple. Nothing is going to be completely perfect or completely easy. Everything you get into in life, you're going to have to work at. You're also somebody, though, who is very happy, joyful, really imaginative, creative. But you're also somebody who can really put on your rose-colored glasses in new relationships or new friendships or partnerships. You really put people on a pedestal when you first meet them because you don't see their dark side as well as their light side, which also requires you to see your own dark side Because unless you accept your own dark side and acknowledge it, you won't be able to see the dark sides of other people or acknowledge them either. And finishing some sort of project that you're working on instead of leaving it to go to a new pursuit will really help you to be able to balance this energy out, seeing something through to the end. So for your light attributes, we have Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands, and the Star. So you're somebody who is very determined, very grounded, very stable, very solid. Somebody who works extremely hard. And somebody who puts in a lot of determination, effort. Somebody very stubborn who really knows, or who really takes your journey very seriously. Somebody who plants all these seeds and cares for them, nurtures them, and then has faith and patience and is really able to wait for that to come to fruition. You're somebody who may face a lot of confusion, but you're able to keep the light alive in the dark. Somebody who always is very hopeful. Somebody who wishes and dreams very big. Somebody who really is very passionate and fiery and is going to fight for their dreams to come true. But you also might be stuck possibly working hard towards things that don't serve your highest good, unsure of where to place your commitments, unsure of what to make a priority. You may be doing things to make others happy or to bring others stability and security, but not for yourself, which kind of comes with idealizing others as well. Sometimes we work really hard to make them happy. And then the negative. Ten of Swords, Five of Cups, Lovers, Temperance, and the Moon. So those are all the qualities that you do have within yourself, but you may not be putting some of them to use. You may have a tendency to slip into the everything always happens to me. Why does all this have to happen to me kind of attitude, that like victimhood mentality of life is so unfair and hurtful and painful. And you might have a tendency also to attract people who betray you or lie to you because of this idealism of others. You may also be somebody who is stuck in the past, mourning over this loss of joy and happiness, but not really seeing or realizing the joy and happiness that's right in front of you. Because no matter how many times we lose something in life, no matter how many endings there are, no matter how much sadness or pain there is, there's always joy that can come in the future as well. You may also be somebody who has a really hard time making decisions based on what your heart wants, listening to your heart, really truly listening to your heart, instead of listening to that impulsive emotion that pops up when anybody jumps into your life. Really truly listen to your heart. Get in touch with your heart. Learn how to deal with people and interact with people in a very interdependent way instead of a codependent way, in a way where love is free. You may have a hard time finding your balance and grounding yourself when you're in an emotional situation. You may have a hard time finding your peace and blending your emotions and your passions together. You may also have a hard time listening to your intuition and really focusing on what's real and what isn't. You may face a lot of illusions. You may create a lot of illusions yourself because of this idealism. I've idealized others before too, so there's no judgment here. Don't think that I'm judging you in any way. This is the hard facts, really, and it may not fit for everyone, of course, but this is somebody who goes and gets into a new relationship and then thinks it's the best thing in the whole world. They're expressing it all over social media and I'm so happy. And then everything comes crashing down. And why does this always have to happen to me? And I'm stuck in so much misery and sadness. And then you go out and find another one and kind of repeats the cycle again. I think this is telling you in a lot of ways to work on your own goals, work on your own priorities, build up your own stability, and that a real foundation takes time. It takes putting in the effort, it takes planting the seeds, watching it grow slowly and carefully with faith and patience and trust that what you're putting work into will provide. There's a need here to feel like you are worthy of happiness, to feel like you are worthy of love, to feel like you are emotionally fulfilled in and of yourself without anything from the outside coming into play. You are a messenger of love, light, and hope. You bring peace wherever you go. Your love of life brings joy to others. You never let others bring you down to their level. No matter the situation, you always take the high road. Your belief never wavers. Your faith shows in all that you do. And it's just a matter of having faith in the right things. Because sometimes when we bring so much love and light and hope and peace everywhere we go and joy to everybody, we attract in everything. Bad, good, in between. You know? And don't let those people bring you down to their level. Take the high road. Leave behind the pain. Leave behind the betrayal. Find your peace within. And have faith and trust that everything that has happened up to this point was supposed to happen, because all of this growth teaches you. You learn lessons from it. You understand things in a new way because of it. It helps get you more in touch with your intuition and what you truly want. It helps you decide what you don't want as well, which is why it's so good not to look at things with rose-colored glasses. Sure, optimism is good, but it is nice to have some realism in there as well, so that you don't get duped, kind of, you know? I've been in that situation myself before, where I've really ended up disliking myself a lot because of the naivety I felt like I had in placing my trust in such people, you know? But it wasn't really naivety. It was just that I was wanting to see